So in this next set of videos, I'm going to go through how to build Python programs for image processing. I've done some work within image processing, computer vision, detecting certain items in images, interesting facts in images, and then pushing those and generating events from those facts when they are detected. So I'm basically starting this video building a prototype application that has a front end. So the front end will be based on the wxWidget package, which has a wxPython version for Python. So this video really is going to cover installation and initial UI presentation of the app. So I'm just going to check the version of wxWidget. One experience I've had is trying to install various packages together, such as OpenCV and numpy. So what I've had to do with this, which you'll see here, is that I get to create a new environment for the application. So here I start with the class image app that extends in Java in quotes, or that's a child of a WX app class. So Copilot also tries to generate the code, which I'll accept has a static variable app size 1200750 def init and on init functions. And then I get to create a class image frame, which actually holds the UI. So the class image app simply generates the app, and then it creates an instance of image frame to actually represent the interface. So everything that goes on the interface goes within the class image frame. So what I tend to do basically is do some flow from app to frame to logic. So if I'm going to share the logic, I'm going to build that logic in a separate class and call the functions from within the image frame class. And going back to the base of the app, if I create the usual if name equals name, app equals image app, redirect equals false, and app.main loop. Simple with this code, I should be able to generate the interface. So I'm just going to run it, and then we get an interface. Now, creating interface is quite straightforward, but I think the main challenge really comes to to install the main classes. So I'm just going to rename the app to image manipulator. Run it again just to be sure that I have the name up there, image manipulator. Good. Then you go investigate whether I can change background of the frame. So I'm just going to type change background color. Copilot suggests some code, which I'm going to accept, but I'm going to just change that to 10, 10, 10. Now, from what the UI looks like, it looks more like it doesn't actually represent a dark background, but essentially these are little things that you don't really need to bother about. For instance, when I write now, that's what it looks like. I just try to screen across. I can see that actually some power will add this color I've suggested. So if I drag that to the end, you see that it actually has a color, but for some reason it needs some form of refresh. But that's not a big problem for now. We're going to skip that. I'm going to try to add a button to see if we can trigger events. Just going to create a separate function for that. Eventually, when you're writing multiple logic code, you probably want to create functions for certain functions, such as certain activities, such as creating the user interface. So you simply call that from the within the image app. So I create a button and I add a label and I add an event to the button as well. Binding an event, Copilot suggests some code, which is fine. I'll simply create the button click function. So it's sort of added the button clicked as a local function in the class, which is not the case. I need to have a separate function. So I'll bring that function out of the class. I'll probably need to create that manually. And Copilot comes to the rescue. So now when I run this, ideally it should print out button clicked. And look at that, that's a button. So when I expand it, the button seems to stretch across the screen, which is not what I want, but we'll sort of fix that later. So I can set the size of the button, but essentially that doesn't fix the extent, the alignment over the screen. So if I run it again, yeah, so whenever I expand the screen, it sort of enlarges the button. So, but so if we set the position, it doesn't really matter really. Ultimately, the button is going to be an event capture, and it's going to be position somewhere. So it actually stays in the right place within it, even though if we don't expand the screen. Ultimately, we'll be specifying the width and height of the frame anyway. So it's not a real big problem. Now, where the interesting thing comes is where we need to install the different libraries. So I'm just going to type in a few statements to summarize what we're installing. Because ultimately, when you process some images, you need some of these libraries packages installed. So that's OpenCV, numpy, matplotlib, kilo. I'm just going to put OpenCV, contrib Python as well. So what we'll probably do really is rather than running this separately, we will probably copy all this into a requirements.txt file. So I'll create a requirements.txt file. What the requirements.txt file does is that it sort of lists out the libraries or the packages that the app will be running with. It's already given an instruction, an indication that the requirements file is empty. So I'm just going to copy all this and probably remove the comments. And the installation instructions as well. But it's already assumed that you want to install this library, so I'm just going to remove all that. Now, I don't have any comments because it seems to be available already for the project. But as we'll see, there will be a conflict in the installation of some of these packages. So if we assume that it's all installed, so what if we decide to run this straight? So if we run it, so the button click still works, but then let's look at importing some of these packages to see if there's a problem. So import CV2, that's OpenCV. We'll import numpy as np. We'll import OS, import Cs as well. Not sure I'll be using that yet, but import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. And let's run it and see. Now we've got some errors. So we saw get errors concerning the combination of numpy and OpenCV. So in order to solve this, what I often do is simply create a new. So let's investigate what's under the Python interpreter. So it's under conda, right? That circle there means that the packages are under conda. Disabling the circle means you will access packages that are not under conda. That's anaconda. So I will try to install the numpy package. In this case, it fails. Now there's a problem. And you sort of tend to go into a cycle of fail, install, fail. What I eventually tend to do really to solve this is to sort of create a new environment. But first, let's actually check if there is a real problem here. So I've created a new environment, but the mistake you realize is that I haven't created this environment under conda. I'm going to install the numpy package under this new environment and install, and the installation is successful. So, but now that we've done that, we need to install OpenCV. But OpenCV is not installed in this other Python environment, which is separate from Conda environment. So I need to install OpenCV as a separate package. External packages come to this Python environment. So I could install OpenCV come Python, which is also an aspect of OpenCV. That's not part of the base, the code base, the primary code base. So that installs successfully. But then I can't find OpenCV in this list. I would rather use the OpenCV that comes in from the package. So what I'll do probably is to check where this environment is based. So now the mistake here is I'm installing on the base. So I get an error. So try to activate the image manager environment. It fails because Conda does not have that image manager environment in its own environment. So that means if I list out the environments in the Conda, you see that there is no image management. Image management is the name of the project, usually the name of the environment created for a project as well. So what I'll need to do is probably go into Conda and add the image manager environment. So on the settings, click on add interpreter, local interpreter, conda, and create a new environment. Leave the Python version, leave the environment name, and click on OK. Once it's installed, then I'll need to go add the packages in. OpenCV now exists because it's in the conda environment already. Successful. Then numpy, install package, successful. And then matplotlib, install package. Not really bothering to change the version because they seem to be most recent versions. So it installed successfully. So I'm going to for wxPython. Now it seems that wxPython is taking a while, so I'll probably close and try to install it a different way. Terminal. Check the environment, conda environment again. You'll see that we now have image manager in that list. So what I'll probably do is to try to do the installation on the command line. But first of all, I have to activate the image manager environment. Once activated, what I'll then do is clear and then try to install some of these packages. So I could go on the requirements.txt and type in the wxPython and change the y to x. Maybe I try to click install requirement so that solves it. So it's showing conda installing conda pack. So it's showing installing conda package wxPython. Well, because it's taking so long, that means that it's probably a problem. It's taking a long time. So going back to these packages again, I could try from the settings, adding Python install, adding the wxPython install. And even then, it still takes a while. So what I'll probably do is do this installation from the command line. So I'll just go on the and type pip install wxPython. This time it's successful. It's basically installing on the image manager environment. And this time it installs successfully. And I assume that should probably ignore requirements. And yeah, and it solves our requirement for wxPython. So now we have all our packages successfully installed. So we could do a test run. And what I could also do is print out the versions of the different packages. I'll close it and then probably edit the button clicked function and add a printout for the versions of different packages. I'll add some text in as well to let me know what apps or packages were printed out for. It should print out the versions or the different packages. So I click on the button, it prints out the versions. So that's how we get to install all our packages and then get the app ready for developing image recognition code. Thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe so you can get notified when there are new lessons uploaded. Thanks and cheers, bye.